So I'm gonna start recording. Okay. All right. So I'm ready. I'm ready to go. So how about you? You're ready to go? So everything's okay? You're ready to go? Your audio, video, everything's okay. Please say yes. All right. Great. Lois, you feeling better? Okay. That's good. Good to hear it. Okay. Take care of it. Take care of it. Okay. All right. So today, let's talk about corporate level strategy. Corporate level strategy. Okay. I just want to remind you that, okay, the last time, what I talked about, business level strategy. Business level strategy. How to compete. How to compete. A single business unit. A single business unit. How to compete. Business level strategy. We talked about it. Okay. The central idea of business strategy was really simple, right? Cost reduction, okay? Product differentiation. You have gaps, this value, then you have competitive advantage. Okay? Two generic strategies. And one market strategy, focus, finding each market. That's it. It was a business level strategy, right? And this time we are going to talk about corporate level strategy. Corporate level strategy. Okay. Multiple business units. Multiple business units. So where to compete? Where to compete? The idea of this chapter is really simple. You have on the umbrella of your business, you have multiple business units. Okay. Sometimes these multiple units conflict in terms of your value. So you need to harmonize or organize the value of these multiple business units. How to arrange it? We are gonna use the concepts related diversification, unrelated diversification. Okay? Related diversification, unrelated diversification. Okay? And then we're gonna talk about some strategies. We already talked about these strategies, something like license, acquisitions, alliances, corporate venture capital, joint ventures, something like that. That's it. This is all about this chapter, chapter 6, corporate level strategy. So basically, chapter 6 is talking about diversification. Diversification is, simply speaking, make or buy, in or out, internalize or just externalize. So there are many business units. Sometimes you can internalize those business units inside, okay, and externalize outside. If you internalize these business units, what happens? You can control everything, easy to control. But sometimes it's not efficient. All right? Externalize, you can find more efficient business functions, but you cannot control everything. So we will talk about this trade-offs. Okay, so corporate level strategy. All right, let's go. Okay, your schedule. Okay, so Wednesday is the exam, right? So three chapters again. Chapter 4, 5, 6. Okay, you're familiar with my test, so I'm not worried about. Okay, at this time again, okay, my suggestion is what? Read the textbook, three chapters, very carefully twice. Okay, very carefully twice. Okay? In your presentation, coming Monday. So your presentation will be about your simulations. So what you did and how's your ideas and everything, anything. Okay, be comprehensive. Okay? no specific topic about your simulation, but we wanna share your ideas or your strategy, whatever, okay, about your simulations. Okay, so you will have, just again 5 to 10 minutes presentations about your presentations, what you did and how was your strategy, how it works, something like that. Then what are you gonna do? Something like that. Okay. Any question, comment? Okay, let's move. Okay, this is your distribution of work keys. Look at this. Average is 6.91 out of 7. It's perfect. Huh? And standard deviation is 0.28. Perfect. I don't have any complaint. Okay. You're doing great. Keep up the good work. Okay. All right, so let's start with the warm keys. Okay. Please go ahead. Canvas. Under the keys. Under the keys. Now, chapter 6, one case is available. Okay? 7 questions. Okay? So I'm going to give you 10 minutes, but when you're done, please let me know. Okay, great. Anybody needs more time, please let me know. Anybody needs more time, please let me know. All right, let's go. Very straight. Okay. So basically, in this chapter, we are talking about diversification. Okay, diversification. Make or buy. Okay. Some strategies are make inside things like acquisition. Think about it. Think about it. Acquisition. You buy a company, and you can use this resource immediately, internally. Okay, so this is what make. But CVC alliances, okay, but still external organizations, but you use those resources externally. These are buy, okay, make or buy. So which one I'm gonna make? Which one I'm gonna buy? This is a big strategic decision. We are gonna talk about it. This is basically okay, diversification. Okay. All right, let's talk about it. Number one, diversification initiatives must be justified by the creation of value for shareholders. True or false? Number one, is it true or false? Yes, brilliant. Thank you. It's true. All right. The creation value for shareholders. Okay. Why do you care about diversification? Because we need to create the value for shareholders. So shareholders or stakeholders, whoever, actually, the nature of business is the creation of value for someone. Okay. Usually, shareholders are central people. Okay. Because we live in what capitalism country, right? Capitalism. So, why do you care about diversification? I want to create value. I want to create value for shareholders, okay, for stakeholders, for the community, okay, to everyone. Okay? This is the nature of business. Okay? And some people, even some business school students, okay, business school is just for making money? No way. Okay? They don't understand why we do business. Business is about value. Okay? Create value. Why we study business? I want to create value, not just money. Money is one of the value. Okay? So please understand the fundamental things. Then you will have better sense about your business. Number two, related diversification. Okay, related diversification versus unrelated diversification. Simply speaking, related diversification, interconnectedness between your business. This is a related diversification. So related diversification enables a firm to benefit from horizontal relationships across different business in a diversified corporation by leveraging core competencies and sharing activity. Yes, it's true. A very good definition of related diversification. Then the next question is, okay, I understand related diversification. What? Then why we care about it? Why we see related diversification? Anybody? What is the central value of related diversification? What is it? Synergetic effects. Synergetic effects. Why do you care about related diversification? Why do you care about related, interconnected business activities? Because these businesses create synergetic effects. This is a related diversification. Okay, that's why we care about related diversification. Number three, with unrelated diversification, okay, no connectedness, okay, no connectedness among business. Then why we care about it? Okay? So with unrelated diversification, potential benefits can be gained from vertical or hierarchical relation. No, it's not true. Unrelated diversification, no relationships among business. Then no synergetic effects. Okay? No synergetic effects. Then why we see this unrelated diversification in the business? Why? Think about it. Related diversification is simple logic. Okay, synergistic effects. Okay, it makes sense. Unrelated diversification. Why we care about it? Why we see there are unrelated diversification in the business? Risk reduction. Risk reduction. Portfolio management. Portfolio management. Unrelated diversifications. Unrelated business, you invest. Then you reduce your risk. This is portfolio management. We are not talking about that with the BCG metrics. Number 4, an advantage of mergers acquisition is that they can enable a firm to rapidly enter new product markets. This is exactly what we talked about with my papers at the beginning of the semester. Okay, so acquisition versus CVC. Acquisitions, you buy a company, you use this resource immediately. So this is an advantage of acquisition. Okay? So this is true. Number 4. Number 5, an advantage of internal development. So this is buy. Okay? No, not buy. Make internally. So you can control everything. All right? Internal thing you can control, but it is expensive. So think about that. If you produce everything, if you do everything internally, okay, you can control everything. You don't need to think about some other, external organizations. It's good, but it is very expensive. You do everything, it is almost impossible in many situations. That's why many people do internal and also external. Okay, make and also buy. Okay, and external buy. Think about it. You cannot control everything, but you can buy. You can buy efficiency. Okay, so an advantage of internal development is that firms do not have to combine activities across the value chains of many companies and merge company culture. Yes, this is internal development. You don't need to think about some other, external, functions. Okay? So you can control, but it is very expensive. Okay. Number 6, poison pills always are used to protect the best interest of management, not stores. Okay. In the textbook, probably there are 3 techniques used in the acquisition strategy to protect your value. Okay. With green nail and gold parachute and poison pills. Okay. There's three okay techniques: green nail, golden parachute, and poison pills. Okay. I'm not going to replicate these 3 techniques. If you read the textbook very carefully, you understand it easily. Okay. All right, number 7, a golden parachute is a pre-arranged contract with the managers specifying that in the event of the hostile takeover, the target company managers will be paid a significant severance package. Yes, this is true. This is the definition of golden parachute. So again, there are 3 types of the techniques I introduced in your textbook about the acquisition. Okay, so you can just read them very carefully, then you can understand that. Again, this topic, diversification strategy, cooperative strategy, all about what? Related, unrelated diversification. Related diversification for what? Synergetic effect. Unrelated diversification, portfolio management. Okay? Portfolio management. Make, buy. Internal, external. Internal, you do this thing by yourself. Okay? So you can control easily, but it is expensive because you need to do it by yourself. Okay? No efficiency. But buy external organization. You use external resources. Yes, cheaper, but you cannot control everything. Okay? So the trade-offs between make or buy, okay? If you understand this, done. Okay? Any question, comment? Okay, now let's know. Okay, diversification. We already talked about this. Okay, make or buy some functions, some business units, internal or external. You need to arrange this. Multiple business units. Okay, and synergetic effects. Related diversification. Unrelated diversification. Restructuring or portfolio management. Then there are several types of strategy to determine internal and external acquisitions, joint ventures, alliances, internal development. We talked about this already at the beginning of the semester. Yeah. Now let's go. Where we are chapter 6, corporate level strategy. All right, this is very interesting case. Okay, Coca-Cola bottling issue. Okay, this is not a new issue. Not at all. Not at all. It's a long time question. It's a long time question. Still, many people are interested in this question. Okay? Which one? Make or buy? Internal or external? Okay? Bottling, owning a bottle company or be using outside company. Okay? So it is a long, long time question. Okay? So this is today's class activity. Your team will join together. Then you're gonna talk about these three questions. Okay? Then please discuss these three questions and be ready. Please be ready. Briefly present your ideas as a whole group. Okay? In a whole group discussions. So let me create your breakout sections and I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. Okay, please join with your group, join with the team, and then discuss these three questions. Please be ready to present your ideas, okay, briefly in our whole group discussions. Please go ahead. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. How was your meeting? Okay, thank you, Melody. Okay, reactions. All right, let's talk about it. Let's go straight. Okay, this is many people are interested. The issue that many people are interested in. So, the first question. Okay, so what are the pros and cons of Coca-Cola owning its bottlers? Anyone, any team, please go ahead. Pros and cons.
Some of the pros we found were that they could roll out products faster. They wouldn't need too much paperwork between them and the bottling companies, and they will be able to be more responsive to customer needs.
Okay.
Um, as far as the
Mm,
cons, it turns out that it was very time consuming. The upgrading the machinery was way more complicated. It was way more expensive than they had expected, and it was just not as profitable as them focusing on the concentrates.
all right, great. Thank you, Melody. What team is yours? What team is it,
Team
Melody?
one.
Team one. Okay, great team one. Okay, Melody and team one is great. So owning is bottlers. That means what? Make, internalize. Okay, you can control. You can control. So as Melody, suggested, you can control easily. So you can responsive more easily and faster. Okay. And cons of the earnings followers, it is. It is what? Okay. More expensive. More expensive. Okay. So it's good. Good. Then actually, Melody's comment summarized pros and cons, I guess. Any other idea? Okay. Any other idea? Any other comment? Okay. The next question. Why didn't Coca-Cola's acquisition of its followers lead to the improvements to the firm expected? Why? What happened? Any team? Anyone? Please go ahead.
On team two, we talked about how the timeline for what Coke wanted to do is pretty much the cons of question one is how BB phrased it. I think was in the article it said it was a low margin capital intensive business, so upgrading and streamlining those facilities if Coke was gonna like directly oversee them, it was just way too expensive and took way too long for what they wanted to do.
Okay. Thank you, Jacob. Team two. Okay. Jacob and team two. Great, great. Okay. So actually, this case is really straight. Okay. So there are very obvious pros and cons of internalizing, make, owning its followers. Okay. You can control everything if you own it. Okay. But it's still a problem because it's expensive. Okay. Expensive. If you externalize bottling companies, you can reduce costs because they have very efficient operations. But you cannot control. You cannot control. So Melody point out that okay, if you have internalized make, it's easy to have productive transitions, but it's not easy to have cost reduction. Okay? So trade-offs between okay, make versus buy, internal versus external. And Jacob is also talking about this in the second questions. Okay? It happens. Okay? Sometimes there are trade-offs. Okay? Based on Jacob's comments, we cannot say this one is absolutely great. This one is absolutely good. We cannot say like that. There are obvious trade-offs between make versus buy. Okay, so it depends. It depends on a lot of contextual factors to successfully done this verification strategy. Okay? Once again, this is not a simple issue. Okay? It's a long time question in this industry. Many people still interested in this case. Okay? All right, let's move. Will the latest move serve as a clear strategy that will lead to long-term profitability, or is it just a reaction to outside pressure from profit? There's no clear answer about this. Okay? It depends. Long-term profitability, I'm not sure. It depends on too many factors. But from this case, okay, I want to emphasize, okay, there are obvious trade-offs between make versus buy, internal versus buy, external. Okay, how to harmonize this strategy decisions, really important decisions. This is yours. Okay, you are a strategist. In your future job, you will have many chances to be related with these decisions. Sometimes it will be a very big decision, but sometimes it will be a very small decision. But still, you will have many chances to decide between external, internal things, make or buy, okay, diversification things. Okay? But this is your decision because you are the boss in your job. Okay? So in this chapter, we are gonna talk about make versus what buy, internal versus external. Some strategies are internal to internalize, some strategies externalize. Then we are gonna talk about it. Okay, I wanna move. So any question, comment about the case? Okay, let's move. So why we care about diversification, multiple business units? Why we care about? Simple, synergetic effects. Okay, especially in the related business units. Okay, interconnected business units. Why do we see diversification strategy? Why do we see harmonize this? Because I want to have synergetic effects. Synergetic effects. Okay, related diversification. Exactly, synergetic effects. Okay? Right. I love this one. Business 1 plus business 2 more than 2. I'm a business researcher and also I'm a mathematician. So I absolutely agree with this. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. I agree with that. I love it. I love it. This is the basic of mathematics. But as a business people, this is not true. 1 plus 1 should be 3. 1 plus 1 should be 10. 1 plus 1 should be 100. This is a synergetic effects. Why do we care about diversification, multiple business units? I want to have synergetic effects. Okay? If my business 1 plus 1 equals 2, then I'm not going to do this business. I'm not going to do business because business create value. I'm not talking about money. Money is a very small part of business. Value. Okay? One value plus one value equals two values. Then this is not business. Okay? Business is a synergetic effects. Why do you care about diversification? Synergetic effects. Okay? So any resources combine synergetic effects. This is the value. Okay? All right, related diversification, unrelated business. Okay? Related, unrelated, in a connection and no connections. Okay? Related diversifications, economics of scope, core competencies, share related activities, blah, 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 many reasons. But central idea is what? Synergetic effects. Okay? Synergetic effects. C is the central, the core idea of related diversifications. Okay? Core competencies, sharing activities, you can just read that, but actually all of these points are same thing, synergetic effects. Okay? So in the related diversifications, okay, this is a business process we already talked about. From the raw materials, the flow of raw materials, business process, okay? The flow of raw materials, production and distribution of products and customer service, something like that. Don't confuse this, okay? Actually, I confused this, when I, pretty long time ago, I confused this a lot. Okay? This is a business process. That's why I emphasize this, okay? The flow of raw materials. Okay, this way is a backward integration. Backward, okay? This way, backward. And this way is forward. So to a customer, it's a forward integration. Okay? Opposite customer, backward integration. Don't confuse that. It's not so important, but when I talk with some people, then I use this backward and forward integration. Sometimes I just confused, but the customers, so flow of raw materials. Okay? You are not confused with this flow of raw materials. Okay? And raw materials for the customers, right? So forward means to the customer, backward means opposite. Okay? Right. So again, but still the central idea of related diversification is a synergetic effects. Okay? Synergetic effects. Oh, transaction cost perspective. This is a Nobel Prize winner theory. Okay? Nobel Prize winner theory. The theory is really simple. Okay? Why we see internalize make. Okay? So individually, think about that. Why I hire people in my business? Because I want to reduce transaction cost. Transaction cost can be search, negotiate, contract, whatever. There are many types of transaction cost. I want to reduce this transaction cost. That's why I hire people permanently. This is an idea of transaction cost perspective. So think about it. I can hire people every day, something like daily workers. Okay? I just stop by the local, gas station, and I pick up some people, to work daily. Okay? Versus, I can hire some people permanently. Then why I choose the latter? Because I want to reduce transaction cost. Okay? If I hire every day, I need to have search cost, negotiation cost every day. It's a problem. It's a high cost. So I want to reduce cost. That's why I hire people permanently. This is transaction cost at the individual level. This theory can be applied in many levels. Okay, many levels. This is a core idea versus, about make versus buy. Okay? So again, in your job, you need to choose this a lot. Okay? Probably you will have many situations to choose this. Okay? Right. This is about transaction cost perspective. Unrelated diversification. So think about it. Related diversification. It makes great sense. Synergetic effects. Clear. Why we see unrelated diversification in the business? It is a natural question. Okay. No relationships among business, but we have multiple business units under the umbrella of my business. Why? Because I want to reduce risk reduction. That is portfolio management. Okay, portfolio management. Something like that. Yes, BCG metrics, Boston Consulting metrics. Okay, BCG metrics. How I manage my portfolio. Look at this. Relative market share, low, high. Industry growth rate, low, high. Then 2x2 boxes. Okay. Low market share, no industry growth rate, dogs. It's not good. I don't know why people label dogs here. Actually, dogs are great. Maybe we can just, relabel like boobs, something like that. Okay? And question marks. Question marks. My market share is not good, but growth rate is high. And stars, high, 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 high. I'm good, and growth rate is great. Cash cow, growth rate is low, but I'm doing good. Cash cow. So think about that. I have a single business unit. Then my business is a cash cow. Then I don't have the file in my business to feed up my system of business. Okay? Because cash cow very soon, okay, will be what? Die. Then I need some more business to feed up my following, my next pipelines. Then probably I can invest in question marks. I can invest in stars. So I had multiple business units in this 3 boxes as much as can. Then I can manage the risk of my business pipeline. Okay? Cash flow, value flows, something like that. This is portfolio management. Okay? So the reduction of the risk is a portfolio management. Okay? So this is why we see unrelated diversification in the business. Okay? So related diversification, what? Synergetic effects. Unrelated diversification, portfolio management. Okay? These are central ideas of this. Related and unrelated diversification. Okay? Then some strategies to determine this make versus buy. Acquisitions, strategic alliances, CVC, joint ventures, licensing contracts. We talked about these strategies at the beginning of the semester with my papers. So I believe you have pretty good sense about these techniques. Okay. So diversification strategy, just simply speaking, these modes of what related to external business. Okay? Internal development, corporate entrepreneurship and new venture development internally. Actually, we have a great example of this at Berry College. Berry Enterprises, they produce the meat and eggs or whatever the daily products. Then this is an example of corporate entrepreneurship. Internally foster a business. This is internal development. We have Hackberry, right? Hackberry incubating systems. So this is great example of corporate entrepreneurship, new venture development. You can see at Berry College. So diversification, external things, internal development, internal. Once again, there are trade-offs. Internal development is good. I can do anything, but it's expensive. Very, very expensive. Time consuming. Why? Because technology is very complicated. I cannot do everything in any business actually these days. It's impractical. So external things, external organizations, they are efficient. Then I want to use this. But if I use the external resources, what happens? Sometimes it's not easy to control because these are not mine. Okay? So there are trade-offs. Make versus buy. Internal versus outside. External. Okay? All right. M&As, you know this, buy a company, right? There are pros and cons of an M&As. Then you just read that, then you can understand. We talked about this, strategic alliances, joint ventures a lot. So I'm not going to talk about it. You just read the paper, your textbook, then you can understand that. Internal development, we talked about that. Okay, so value enterprises. Okay, but the problem is internal development. Okay, make internal time-consuming. You need to continually develop new capabilities. It's almost impractical. That's why we see a lot of networks, a lot of what external by diversifications. Yeah, that's pretty much about chapter 6, diversification. So we talked about what diversification, where to compete, how to harmonize your multiple business units, make versus buy, internal versus external. Okay. Related diversification, synergetic effects, unrelated diversification, portfolio management. Okay. What strategies, acquisitions you can use? You can buy a company and you can use this resource immediately. Okay. Alliances, CVCs, not. Okay. You can use external organization, but you cannot control, okay, a lot. Okay. Then joint ventures, licensing, okay, all of these strategies, okay, can be used to determine internal or external. Okay. Then corporate entrepreneurship, okay, internal development is time consuming, okay, but you can control. So basically, this topic is talking about the trade-offs between internal, external. Okay, how to harmonize it? Internal, external. Coca-Cola bottling company, internal versus external. Which one is better? We don't know, but we need to choose. Okay, we need to consider a lot of contextual factors. It depends on you. You are the boss. You are the strategist in your job. You need to decide. Okay. This is pretty much about chapter 6. Any question, comment? Okay, so you no question, no comment. You're okay with this topic? Please say yes. Okay. Please say yes if you are okay with this. I just want to make sure because we will have the test. I want to have everyone in the same line. Okay, so no problem. So chapter 3 chapters we done. Okay, so you don't have any question, comment. You're clear about this chapter. So please, again. So next time, exam day, right, test, okay, read the 3 chapters twice carefully. That's it. That's my only suggestion. Any question, comment? If you don't, I'm gonna see you on Wednesday. Okay? You did a great job today. Great. You have a routines. We have a routines as a team. It's great. Okay? Our class will become more efficient and effective. I see. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Melody. Thank you, Lois. Thank you. Great.